Crypto continuing its sell-off with Bitcoin down below 17,000. That's as Binance is reportedly likely to walk away from its offer to acquire FTX. Well, joining us now is Kevin Paffrath, a financial analyst who follows Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on his popular YouTube channel, Meet Kevin. So, Kevin, how expected was this demise when it comes to FTX?
This was actually a total blindside. You have to remember this. Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of FTX, he was considered the Jerome Powell of the crypto market. He was the guy who was just in a deal trying to buy Voyager Digital, the Canadian company that went bankrupt a few months ago. He was the guy investing in Robinhood when it was $7 per share, which it's almost back to that level. He was the guy doling out money everywhere, and all of a sudden, the emperor has no clothes. It's really scary and super unexpected.
Does appear to have no clothes. Good to see you, man. So he went from Jerome Powell. Is he honestly Bernie Madoff? And what's the fallout from this?
Oh boy, there are a lot of comparisons, unfortunately, to Ponzi schemes in the crypto world. In fact, even Sam Bankman-Fried himself has reference to some of what happens in the world of crypto as a Ponzi. So yeah, a lot of references to Bernie. And it doesn't help that companies like Binance are registered out in the Cayman Islands. You don't know who owns them. Anyone who's ever tried to sue Binance has ended up giving up on their lawsuit because you can't even figure out who owns these companies. So what's the fallout here? Well, I think Binance probably smart from walking away from the FTX deal. I think they'll take a multi-billion-dollar loss trying to bail out FTX. That could lead, unfortunately, though, to more liquidations. We don't know how bad those will get, but if we see large liquidations because of an FTX bankruptcy, that could move over to the US FTX version, since they have the international wing and the US version. And then ultimately, if prices got low enough, you could even see, I hate to say it, but you could see a company like even Binance go under, and that's the last leg standing.
I mean, so what do you think that Binance saw when they looked under the hood at FTX? And when you do have so much power consolidated here, what does that mean for the broader industry?
Yeah, I think what happens is you look at the books of FTX, and what you'll probably see is, hey, you've got $6 billion, roughly. This is what Bloomberg and some commenters on Bloomberg are estimating. You've got about $6 billion that people are trying to withdraw. And Binance probably looked and said, well, you've only got one or something like that, right? We're estimating. And so Binance has to decide, do we want to cover that loss, that $5 billion difference? Is that worth it to us? And how many customers are we going to get after that? The big issue, though, is if everybody's bailing out and leaving the centralized platforms, then what's the point of bailing out FTX if you're going to get a shell of a company? So this is probably where it would be a lose-lose situation for Binance to buy them, because they'd take a loss and then not have the customers. But if they don't bail out FTX, we could see liquidations that could also then in turn hurt Binance if the underlying value of their cryptocurrencies, like their Binance token, collapses, which is possible. And then you just don't have centralized cryptocurrency left. Everything's just, you either have it on a cold wallet or it just becomes worthless.
It's just hard to imagine, Kevin, how we got here. There must have been hundreds of journalists looking into the finances of SBF and how they didn't know. And the journal reporting suggests there were 400 employees at FTX versus 7,000 at Binance. Something had to be wrong there. They also say employees have not been able to even reach SBF for several days. So something sounds very off. What are you hearing from investors? What are you hearing from people that bought Bitcoin, that invested in FTX or Binance?
Yeah, it's just devastating because the companies really came across as wanting to help this mission of decentralized finance, lower transaction costs, very believable message. And everybody was working with these companies. These companies were sponsoring, Tom Brady, Bunchen. They were, everybody was involved in these. You had Matt Damon do the Crypto.com commercial. And so the believability was so strong that these companies just had so much standing that nothing could go wrong. But you've had journalists try to get in touch with companies like Binance and go visit their offices. And the most that we've ever gotten out of Binance was a virtual tour and an explanation that, well, a lot of people work from home. They only come in every so often. So red flags were there. The founder of Binance doesn't even want to come to the United States because he thinks he'll get instantly arrested. And instead he hangs out in Dubai. So it's, the red flags are there, but I don't think anybody would have believed that the biggest boys of the crypto world would have started having issues like this. And it's devastating to investors.
No doubt. And SBF lost 94% of its net worth in one day, the largest and fastest drop ever, according to Bloomberg statistics. He is Meet Kevin on YouTube. Kevin Paffrath, good to see you, sir. Thank you.